Prime Minister says that he would willingly implement one of the biggest changes in our visa system in British history to offer nearly 3 million Hong Kong residents extended visa-free access to Britain and the chance to obtain citizenship. Britain would then have no choice but to uphold our profound ties of history and friendship with the people of Hong Kong, he says. Today, about 350,000 of the territory's people hold British national, overseas, passports, and another 2.5 million would be eligible to apply for them. At present, these passports allow visa-free access to the United Kingdom for up to 6 months. If China imposes its national security law, the British government will change our immigration rules and allow any holder of these passports from Hong Kong to come to the UK for a renewable period of 12 months and be given further immigration rights, including the right to work, which could place them on a route to citizenship. He adds this would amount to one of the biggest changes in our visa system in British history. If it proves necessary, the British government will take this step and take it willingly. Many people in Hong Kong fear their way of life, which China pledged to uphold, is under threat. If China proceeds to justify their fears, then Britain could not in good conscience shrug our shoulders and walk away. Instead, we will honor our obligations and provide an alternative. Senior government figures said that Britain was waiting for the publication of full details of the proposed laws, expected this month, before it carried out its threat. Dominic Raab, the Foreign Secretary, told MPs yesterday that there is time for China to reconsider. There is a moment for China to step back from the brink and respect Hong Kong's autonomy and respect China's own international obligations. Mr. Raab added, "Let me be clear about the approach that the United Kingdom intends to take. We do not oppose Hong Kong passing its own national security law. We do strongly oppose such an authoritarian law being imposed by China, in breach of international law." He said that Britain already had the support of the United States, Australia, and Canada in rallying international opposition to the new law, but conceded that it had to widen the coalition to include African and South American nations if it hoped to moderate China's egregious behavior. The offer of a path to British citizenship to Hong Kongers has been driven by Priti Patel, the Home Secretary, with Mr. Raab. Ms. Patel's parents were among Asians allowed to flee repression in Uganda in the 1970s, while the Foreign Secretary's Jewish relations fled Czechoslovakia in 1938. Downing Street has not said how many Hong Kong residents it expects to take up the offer, but Mr. Raab has said that it was very unlikely to be several 100,000. A large number would probably want to stay, others may go to countries in the region. Australia and Canada are among nations likely to woo tech-savvy Hong Kongers. The support of Ms. Patel and Mr. Raab is likely to assuage hostility from conservatives who are worried about increased immigration. In most cases, their hostility towards China outweighs concerns over Hong Kongers settling in the UK. A Whitehall source said, Priti and Dom have been united in their efforts to support British nationals overseas following China's aggressive moves to impose national security legislation on Hong Kong. A meeting of the National Security Council yesterday is understood to have agreed to rebalance Britain's relationship with China. Mr. Johnson is under pressure to reverse his decision taken before the pandemic struck to allow Huawei, a Chinese company, to build up to 35% of Britain's 5G network. Security officials have begun a review of that decision after the U.S. imposed new sanctions on China.